Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar organized by Coupa. My name is Jan, I'm a Coupa Supply Enablement Specialist and I'm going to conduct the Coupa Supply Portal training session today. The purpose of this webinar is to provide you with extensive training on coupa invoicing and coupa functionalities and make sure you'll have a smooth transition to the new invoicing and payment process. Now, some of you use coupa to submit invoices to your customers, some use coupa to receive digital payments, and others use coupa for both. Respectively, some of your customers use coupa for their supplier payments and some don't. I will refer to these two groups as pay and non-pay customers. I will also draw a comparison between the two groups throughout the entire webinar, and I'll explain the differences in your supplier experience depending on whether you work with a coupa pay or non-pay customer. I would like to start by highlighting the big benefits that we see for you as a supplier in your relationship with your coupa customers by using this portal. Using coupa will optimize the procure-to-pay process not only for your customers but also for you as a supplier. Coupa Supplier Portal will allow you to track your purchase orders, invoices, and payments in one place. You'll be able to see not only your current purchase orders and invoices, but also the historical ones. Coupa will allow you to create your invoices directly from a purchase order, meaning that the content of your invoice will be already in the purchase order, and you'll just have to flip that purchase order into an invoice. You can also maintain your company's information, payment details, and contact data at any time, and also keep them up to date. More importantly, by submitting your invoices through the portal, they'll be coming in electronically. This way, invoices and digital payments will be processed faster and you can get paid much quicker. In the coupa Supply portal, you can create a complete and up-to-date business profile of your company. This will increase your visibility with buyers within the coupa community looking for the services and products that you offer, which could generate new business opportunities for you. Last but not least, coupa Supplier Portal is a free tool to transact electronically with your customers and is a secure platform to use. Coupa applications are hosted on Amazon's web services. The same infrastructure supports Amazon.com's business, so your data and payment information are always kept secure. Passwords and other data are encrypted during transport. You will also be able to enable your multi-factor authentication within Coupa to strengthen the security of your accounts. Now here are some useful links where you can access more information about coupa and the coupa Supplier Portal. We encourage you to bookmark supplier.coupa.com as your one-stop shop for coupa Supplier Portal help. Here you'll find everything you'll need to know to get started with your customer. The site contains help pages based on key tasks, like how to set up online payments or how to create an invoice, so you can quickly find help on what you need to do within the coupa Supplier Portal. There is also online chat and help tool available within coupa. Another useful page is compass.coupa.com. The login page for the coupa Supplier Portal is supplier.coupahost.com. You're not required to remember or write down these pages at the moment, as you'll be receiving an email from us after the webinar with this PowerPoint deck and the recording of the webinar itself. Besides, today in this webinar, I'm going to cover all important features and functionalities of the coupa Supplier Portal, and I'll start by looking at your registration emails. I will show you what the registration email looks like and how to register. I'll explain how to do the minimum setup needed so you can receive your payments digitally and create invoices. Next, I'll present to you how to invite other users to your account and also how to merge coupa Supplier Portal accounts. You will learn how to manage your notifications with a coupa Supplier Portal demo. I will demonstrate to you how to view purchase orders and submit invoices, how to create credit notes, and resolve disputes. I'll also navigate you to check the payment status of your invoices and find the remittance advice. At the end of the webinar, we will have a Q&A session where you'll be able to ask your questions directly. Meanwhile, please use the Q&A box to write down your questions. We will start the Q&A session by reviewing those questions first. Now let me show you how to activate your coupa accounts. You'll be receiving an invitation to register for the coupa Supplier Portal by email. This is a sample of a branded invitation that you see here. The invitation will come from the email address don'treply@supplier.coupa.com. If you're not finding the invitation, please check your spam junk folders. You can also search the invitation by the subject line. Create your coupa supply portal account for customer's name, of course. This is also a sample of a subject line. The subject line might be slightly different for different customers. In very rare cases, if you're still not receiving the invitation, this is most likely because of your company's firewall. In this case, please contact your IT department and ask your IT colleagues to release the email coming from do not reply at supplier.coupa.com to you. Once you've received the invitation, please click on the Get Started button. Now, some of you may also receive the standard coupa invitation. This invitation will come from the email address do not reply at supplier.coupahost.com. Here you'll need to click on the Join Coupa Supplier Portal buttons or in order to proceed with the registration, or you may also choose to forward this invitation to a colleague of yours. By clicking on the Get Started or Join coupa Supply Portal buttons, you will proceed to the registration page where you'll need to create your password, select your country, enter tax IDs, then click on the Create an Account button. At this point, your coupa account has been created. If you're not the right person to register your coupa account, you can always forward this invitation to someone else. The system will also require that you verify your emails. You will need to get the 6-digit verification code sent to your emails and enter it here to proceed. You may also see the screen that gives you the possibility to join an existing coupa account at your organization or create a new coupa account. Very often, suppliers already have a coupa account created previously to work with other coupa customers. If your company does have an existing account that you're using, you will see this screen and you can select the first radio button to view the existing account and potentially join the account. It's typically better for you to join an existing account as an additional user instead of creating your own standalone account for that one customer. Please note that the system will show you only users with the same email domain. It will not show users with generic email domains like Gmail and Yahoo. If you'd like to register a standalone coupa user account, please select the second radio button to create a new account. In this case, bear in mind that if at some point in the future, if you'll need to give access to that customer to other registered coupa users within your company, you will have to go through the merge accounts process. I'll show you how to merge accounts later on during this webinar. If you do not have an existing coupa account with the same domain name, you will simply not see this screen at all. On the next page, you'll be brought to a wizard that will guide you to add your company and payment information. On this screen, please enter your primary address and then click on Save and Next to continue. The following steps of the wizard are designed for you to provide your preferred payment method to your coupa customers. If your customer offers virtual card payments, you can share your virtual card details on this card. Please enter virtual card as a payment method and provide the email address where you'd like to receive your virtual cards. You will also have the option to connect your coupa account to your Stripe account. All you need to do is check the box or process credit cards automatically and then click on the Connect with Stripe button. You'll be directed to Stripe where you can log into your Stripe account. After you log in, your coupa and Stripe accounts will be connected. Any card payments you will receive from your coupa customers thereafter will be automatically deposited to your Stripe accounts. If you're not accepting virtual card payments, you can check the box Do not accept virtual card payments from this customer instead, and then click on Save and Next button to continue. On the following screen, you'll be able to add your bank details. When you see this screen, please enter your bank name and account number, then fill in your bank routing number. This will be the ACH, or also known as EFT routing number for direct deposit. The example here is with the US setup. If you select another country, the information required on the card will change according to your selection. If you'd like to upload a document as proof of bank account ownership, for example, void a check, bank statement, or a bank letter, you'll be able to do so when you click on the Browse button at the bottom of your screens. If you decide against providing your bank details to your customer, you can select the box Do not accept bank transfer payments from this customer, and then click on Save and Next button to move forward. The third payment-related card will require that you enter your remit address for check payments in case you're not accepting virtual card payments and/or bank transfers. If you'd prefer not to receive checks as well, you can scroll down and select Do not accept check payments from this customer and then click on Save and Next button to continue. Now, the last screen of the wizard will provide you with the possibility to select to have your business verified. To promote your business within the Coupa community, Coupa offers a special program called Coupa Verified. The Coupa Verified solution is an optional program you can select here or later on within your Coupa accounts. This is a subscription program where your business will undergo a business data review and validation of the business contact information. Once the verification is completed, your business will receive a Coupa Verified badge. Being verified results in your business to appear ahead of non-verified suppliers within the search results. This way, you'll have a higher chance than the non-verified suppliers of getting quickly discovered as a trusted brand by Coupa customers. This way, Coupa can help you grow your business. Coupa Advanced will help you effortlessly manage your invoices. You'll be able to automatically send invoice approval reminders to your buyers and receive reports about open invoices. With Coupa Advanced, you can have a consolidated view of all your invoices across all your Coupa customers, and you can create views with selected columns and filters. Both Coupa Verified and Coupa Advanced are optional paid solutions available from Coupa. They are not a requirement to work with your Coupa customers and transact with them through the portal. If you are interested and want to subscribe for Coupa Verified or Coupa Advanced, you can select Purchase Verified and Purchase Advanced buttons. If you're not interested, be sure to select the free option on the left-hand side. In your Coupa accounts, you'll be able to start the verification process or subscribe for Coupa Advanced at any time later on. I'll now switch to a demo version of the Coupa Supplier Portal to show you what it looks like and also how it works. Right, everyone will be logging in at supplier.coupahost.com. Once again, your login page would be supplier.coupahost.com. You're seeing test as we're in a test environment at the moment. Right here on this page, you'll be required to enter your emails, passwords as well. If you're able to enable your multi-factor authentication during your registration, this is the place where you'll be required to enter your codes. If you can bear with me for 1 second so I can go ahead and enter mine, it will be greatly appreciated. All right, after your registration, this is what you're going to see. Our Coupa Supply portal, all white with majority of our tabs all located on top of the page. The setup button, which will also consist of all the options on the left-hand side. Now, just for clarification, only the administrators of your Coupa accounts will be able to see all the options on the top, the setup button, and all the options on the left-hand side. All right. Before we move forward, I would like to show you that if you scroll the way to the bottom of the page here, if you're not feeling comfortable with the language provided to you for your Coupa account, you can go ahead and select a different language and please select the one that you will feel most at ease with. We're going to start by me showing you the Legal Entities tab. We're going to click on Business Profile and then Legal Entities. However, in order to access the Legal Entities option, you will have to enable your multi-factor authentication first. The multi-factor authentication is a mandatory step that had been introduced to add an extra layer of protection to secure your accounts. The activation is on a user level, so any account user who wants to add or update your company and/or payment information will have to go through the multi-factor authentication step. You can find detailed information on how to activate your MFA on our compass.coupa.com page. A link to that page will also be included within the email that you're going to receive after the webinar. Now, if you're able to enter all the information required as far as company and payment information during your registration, this is the page that you're going to see. However, for those of you who had skipped on entering on any of that information, this page for you will be blank. Not to worry, in this case, all you need to do is simply create a brand new legal entity with your company and payment information. We're going to go ahead and create one legal entity together, only so we can be on the same page and know what information is required. We're going to start by clicking on the Create button. On the following page, the information required is as follows: company's name, country once again, tax ID, which is mandatory. Now, if you're a non-US supplier, instead of tax ID, you'll be required to enter VAT GST numbers. You're going to enter your address as well, and you're going to click on Save. Now, if you're going to be using your coupa account for invoices and payments, you must enter payment information. In order to do that, you're going to have to click on the continue button. Please don't get confused by the first sentence that reads here, business legal entity successfully created, as it is not. Once again, if you're going to be using your coupa accounts for invoicing and payments. So we're going to click on continue button. We're going to be prompted directly to our payment method screen. We're going to click on add payment method, and right after, you'll be presented with all three options that we provide for you here: bank transfer, remit to address for check payments, and virtual cards. We'll go through all three options as well. We'll start by selecting bank transfer. Once again, company's name is required. Payment method's name would be ACH. You're going to be required to enter your state as well, currency of choice, company's name, bank name, account number, confirm it, ACH routing number. If you do need to enter SWIFT codes, please check the box for my company expects to receive urgent wire payments. Enter your SWIFT BIC codes. Click on save, and you're going to see one last page. Now, if you're going to be a long-time coupa Supply Portal user, you'll see a list of all of your customers plus the newest one. If you're a first-time coupa Supply Portal user, you're going to see only one customer. In both cases, you're actually asked to check the box for that particular customer you'd like to attach onto this company and payment information. You're also able to add multiple customers at the same time. So please check all these boxes as well. Click on save, and right after, that is all that is required for an ACH payment to be created. We're going to click on Add Payment Method once again and click on Virtual Cards. Once again, company's name is required, payment method's name, virtual card, email address. This would be the email address you'd like to be receiving your virtual cards at. If you do have a Stripe account, you can check the box for process credit cards automatically, then proceed to click on Connect with Stripe button. Both coupa and Stripe accounts will be successfully connected together, and all your future payments will be deposited directly to your Stripe account. I'm going to uncheck the box. We're going to click on save for the sake of this example. We're going to add our customer. We're going to click on save, and our virtual card method, payment method is also created. One last time, we'll click on add payment method and select remit to address for check payments. Company's name, once again, you're going to be required to enter your payment method's name, country. You're going to enter your address. Don't forget the state. Now, every single time when you see a red asterisk, make sure that you fill that information out. This simply means it is a mandatory field for information to be entered. You're going to click on save. You're going to add your customer or customers. Once again, save, and your check payment method has also been added under your payment methods. Now, regardless of all types of methods, it goes for all three of them. If you just created that payment method for ACH, let's say with this bank information, and you added your first customer, if you're going to be using the same bank account in the future, all your future customers can be added onto this payment method previously created. There's no need for you to be creating a payment method for each individual, for each new customer, if you're going to be using the same payment information. That goes for ACH, once again, check, or virtual card payment method. You can add additional customers onto already existing payment methods if they're still legit. So you're going to click on Share Payment Method button here. You're going to add all these customers. It can be only one customer at a time or multiple customers at a time. You're going to click on Share Payment Method, and that payment information will be successfully shared with the new customer or customers, and you're going to be able to view their names right under Shared with Customers column. All right. If this bank information is no longer valid, if the bank account you'd like to use a different one, you can delete the old one by clicking on the red bin here, deactivate payment method. You can proceed to create a brand new payment method with your new bank information. If you click on the pencil, this will be your edit button. Right here, some information, very little can be edited, but it still can. If you click on the Manage Link Customers button, right here, you're going to be able to view all the customers that are connected to this company and payment information and their sharing status, if it's successful, if it's not. And you can also disconnect certain customers from this payment information by clicking on this Unshare Payment Method button at the end of your customer's name, customer's line. All right. So you can disconnect customers if you would like to add them onto a different payment method, or if you no longer would like to um, share this information with them as well. Sometimes when you create payment methods, some of you might encounter red flags. If you do, that will happen on extremely rare occasions, of course. But if you do, first and foremost, hover over the red flag, read the message the system is sending you, and right away try creating a brand new payment method with for this particular customer. In most cases, this will resolve the issue. However, if you just created a brand new payment method and the problem is still there. The issue is still standing. In this case, you must contact our support team. You have two ways of reaching out to our support team, either by using the chat box, the blue chat box in the lower right corner here, or you can, of course, send them an email at supplier@coupa.com. We have a lot of Coupa Supplier Portal specialists working around the clock, helping all of our suppliers. Now, when you're creating a legal entity, you're creating this entry here, okay? You're also creating an entry under payment methods, all the payment methods that are associated that we created with this legal entity. So in case your address changes, for example, in this case, if your address changes, you must deactivate the old legal entity and create a brand new legal entity with your new and updated address. All right. So when you can deactivate legal entity, excuse me, by clicking on the pencil, which will be your edit button here. Click on delete, deactivate. This will remove the entry under legal entity, as well as it will remove all the payment methods associated with that legal entity, the ones that we created alongside this legal entity. Okay, so when you start creating your brand new legal entity, you're going to click on create button, follow up with entering all the information that is required, that is your new address, etc., and you're going to create those new payment methods as well associated with your new legal entity that is based on change of address. Okay. Next, I would like to show you how you can add additional users onto your coupa accounts. You're going to click on the setup button, and then you're going to click on users. Click on invite user button. Once you do, the system will require that you enter your new user's first, last name, email address, country, area code, telephone number, and extension. Under customers, you're going to be required. This is actually the place where you're granting access to your new user, let's say to one, few, or all customers within your coupa account. All you need to do is check those boxes. On the left-hand side, on the permissions, this is the place where you're going to be able to assign their tabs, aka assign their permissions. Right here, I'd like to advise all my suppliers to make sure that you guys add not two but three admins onto your coupa accounts. The reason for it is you'd be surprised how often two of your administrators will be one out of office, the other one on a sick leave. And if you have an emergency task that requires you to access or edit your company and payment information, if you don't have an admin present, you might not be able to complete your task. So please make sure to add a third admin onto your coupa accounts at all times. Now, let's say we do have three admins added onto our coupa account. Our new user, we would like them to be in charge of only invoices and payments. In that case, all we need to do is simply check the box for invoices, payments, early payments. That is only if you do apply them. Of course, you're going to send the invitation, they'll accept it and become part of your coupa account. Now, the only difference is, but before I show you this, in case when you're adding a new admin onto your coupa account, right here, when you get to this page, in order to grant admin permissions to your new user, all you need to do is simply check the box for all on the customers and all on the permissions. You're going to send the invitation. Once accepted, they're going to have the same admin rights as you do. You're going to see on the permissions that right next to your name or your new user's name, it's going to be admin is going to be present. Now, since we added our new user to be in charge of invoices and payments only, the difference between an admin and a simple user would be our new user will be seeing only the invoices tab and the payments tab. The administrator will be able to see all the tabs above, the setup button, and all the options on the left-hand side. So only administrators are going to be able to create legal entities, create payment methods, or edit any of that information, or simply access it. If you're not an administrator, you're not going to be able to have access to those functionalities at all. Now, if you think that your new user that is in charge of invoices and payments is doing a great job with their responsibilities, you'd like to grant him additional responsibility, let's say catalogs as well, what you'll need to do is simply log into your coupa account as an administrator, click on Setup, click on Users, find your user on this page here, right next to their name, check the box, click on the Edit button, simply check the box for catalog, save the information. This will automatically add the catalogs tab onto your new user's information banner. Vice versa, if you'd like to take away responsibilities from a certain user and you would like the invoicing process to belong to a different colleague, in order to remove that invoices tab, you're going to use the same method, setup users, you're going to click on your users edit button, and right here you're going to uncheck the box for invoices saved information. This will automatically remove the invoices tab from your users information banner. They will no longer have access to the invoicing process moving forward. Now, another way to connect with a new user is simply another example. When you try to invite a new user onto your coupa account, you'll receive a message from coupa saying that the email address that you're trying to invite has been already used in the past to create their own coupa account. So what that means is you have your own coupa account created and your new user has already created their own coupa account. So in that case, you're not going to be inviting them as a new user using the method that I just went through. You're going to be merging your coupa account with their coupa account. So we're going to click on Merge Requests tab. A merge is a two-way process that has to be initiated by one of you who needs to enter the email address of the second person right here and request the merge. The second person is simply going to log into their own coupa account. They're also going to click on Setup and Merge Request. However, they'll be required to click on the Respond button. Once they do, on the following page, they're going to be presented with all the details in regards to their future merge. An extremely important step here would be confirming the email address is the correct email address. Okay, please make sure that it is, as once a merge is created, you're no longer able to unmerge. So God forbid you merge your account with an unknown email address, they will have access to your company payment information. So please be very careful when you're accepting those merge requests. It's always best to deny a merge, as you can always request a new one, then merging your coupa account with an unknown email address, all right? Only after confirmation of the email address, only then you're going to check the box for I recognize the email address above. It will add your accept button. You're going to click on it, and both coupa accounts will be successfully merged together. Now, if you had 3 customers within your coupa account prior to the merge and your new user had 4 customers within theirs, after successfully merging those 2 accounts, those 2 coupa accounts, you're both going to end up with those 7 customers, 100% visibility of each other's information. However, you both get to keep your own credentials. Every certain activity that takes place within your portal, you'll be receiving a notification for it. You're also going to be able to manage your notifications. So we're going to click on Notifications tab and proceed to Notification Preferences. Let's say you'd like to start receiving email notifications every single time a purchase order is received. You'll simply find the orders portion on this page here. Right next to new orders received, check the box for email, and you can start receiving those email notifications moving forward. Vice versa, if you no longer would like to be receiving email notifications every single time an order had been canceled, for example, uncheck the box for email. Save update information, you will no longer be receiving those notifications moving forward. I would advise all of you to go through all the options that we provide for you here, modify your profiles to your liking, as to some, it might become a little overwhelming receiving all these notifications if they're not part of your responsibilities. Next, our online help page. This is the place where you're going to be able to find all information needed in order to start using your coupa accounts, or information necessary in order for you to be able to continue using your coupa accounts. Multiple video tutorials and articles are available to you. Recently, we've also added recordings of training webinars. We provide you with a version in English and in Spanish. We're currently working really hard onto providing with additional recordings in additional languages. We don't have an exact date as of when we'll be able to upload those recordings. However, it will become possible with one of our upcoming updates. If you hover over your names here and click on account settings, this is the place where you're going to be able to update your passwords if needed, as well as the options for your multi-factor authentication. If you click on security and multi-factor authentication, you're going to be able to see that we provide you with two options in order to enable it. The first option is for you to download application onto your phones that will generate codes. Those codes are going to be needed every single time when you log into your coupa account, or every single time when you try to access or edit your company and payment information, right? The second option is if you do provide your telephone number, you'll be receiving those codes via text message. If you're not happy with the option that you selected first, you can log into your coupa account and select the second radio button here and stay with the option for your multi-factor, the one that is most convenient to you. When you're enabling your multi-factor authentication, please be very careful, as you will be presented with 6 one-time codes. Those codes are going to be printed out or kept somewhere safe, as they're going to be used in situations when you're experiencing technical difficulties of any sort. For example, your application on your phone is simply not generating those codes at the moment, or you're not receiving that code by a text message, and you do need to access your coupa account and do some work within it, or edit any of the information, the payment or company information. So use one of these 6 one-time codes in situations like this one, and you'll be able to access your coupa account. If for some reason you lose them, you can always log into your coupa account, click on account settings, security multi-factor authentication, click on show recovery codes or regenerate recovery codes, and you'll be presented with some new ones. Okay. If you do have the feeling that you didn't get the chance to add all the information in regards to your company during your registration process, every single time when you click on the business profile tab and click on the edit button here, the pencil, you're going to be able to add additional information. Let's say a few of your own words in regards to your company, PO emails. This will be the email that you'll be receiving those purchase orders at, as well as the person who will be doing your invoicing. Year of establishment, company size, DUNS numbers, tax IDs, websites, links, etc. The more information you add onto your profiles, the better it is, as when a customer is looking for the services and products that you're offering, the more information you've added onto your coupa account, the better it is, as you'll be appearing higher within the search results if you've added more information than the suppliers that they haven't. The second portion of this webinar I would like to dedicate on the invoicing part. There are two ways of invoicing via the coupa supplier portal against a purchase order and creating a blank invoice. We will start with the PO-backed invoicing. That process starts under your orders tab. Now, the reason for it is right here I'm going to select a purchase order and simply show you how you can flip it into an invoice. But first and foremost, if you're a long-time coupa supplier portal user, make sure to select your customer from your drop-down menu first, and then select that purchase order. So we'll use the second PO here. The first and fastest way for you to be able to flip it into an invoice would be by clicking on the yellow gold coins at the end of your purchase order line. This will directly, once you click on the yellow gold coins, you'll be prompted directly to your invoicing page. However, I'll click on the purchase order number, which will be the second way, just to show you a few details along the way. Once you click on the PO number, you'll see 3 pages. On the second page, you'll see your actual purchase order. This is what it's going to look like. It will always arrive in net amounts. It can be 1 line, 2 lines, multiple lines. Always on top of your purchase orders, you're going to be able to see the name and email address of your buyers. If you'd like to further discuss the content of this purchase order, or any other reason that you might have that you need to speak with them, please grab their email address from here, start communicating. Or another, even more efficient way would be using the comment section down below your purchase orders. You can type your questions, messages, concerns. They'll receive it on their end of coupa and respond as soon as possible. So after clicking on the PO number on the first page, on the second page, all you need to do is click on Create Invoice button. Right here, right this moment, all the information from your purchase order will be flipped into an invoice. You'll see one, last, and third and last page, right here, you're going to be seeing all the company and payment information on the right. On the left, you'll be required to enter your invoice number manually. Keep in mind the coupa does not generate numbers, so you'll have to enter those invoice numbers manually. If you're going to be attaching your initial invoice alongside your coupa invoice, make sure that the invoice number and invoice date match on both invoices. Payment terms. Your payment terms are updated on your vendor side. So if you see that they're incorrect or if you'd like to update them, please contact your customer directly and have them discuss the issue with them, and they will update the payment terms on their end of coupa. Sometimes you can update payment terms if, in case, you've been sent the supply information management form. Not all suppliers are receiving those forms from their customers. However, if you are a supplier that received one, you're going to be able to find it under the Setup tab. Connection, I'm sorry, I apologize. Business profile and information requests. It will look like this. We have few of those forms, so you can the name can be different depending on the information required. So once you open that form, you're going to be able to update those terms within it. We're going to go back to the purchase order that we previously were working on. PO number, create invoice, and we're back on the page where we entered our invoice number. We spoke about the payment terms. Now, in regards to attachments, we provide you with few options to be able to attach any documentation. Generally speaking, there is no need to attach your own company invoice in coupa, because coupa will create a country compliant legal invoice and will generate a PDF file of your invoice. You will attach your invoice only if you have been explicitly directed by your buyer to do so, or if there is a specific local regulation that makes the attachment of your invoice mandatory. For example, Mexican suppliers will have to attach their government required CFDI invoices. This is what your invoice what it's going to look like, right? If you're a U.S. supplier and do apply taxes, you must check the box for a line level taxation, as this will add your tax rate menus within your invoice lines. You can select your tax rates, or you also have the option to add your taxes manually if this is easier. If this is what you'd prefer. Of course, if you're a non-US supplier, in that case, it's a little bit different. You're not going to be required to check on the line level taxation box, as those tax rate menus will already be included within your invoice lines previously. If you're a supplier that does not apply taxes, you're simply going to leave those tax rate boxes empty. Now, partial invoicing is also available to you within coupa. Let's say we started working on this invoice earlier today. Halfway through, you decided you no longer would like to invoice against the second line here. You can easily delete it by clicking on the red X button. It will delete the line only from your invoice, not from your purchase order, so you can go back to that PO later on and invoice against that line once, twice, as many times as you'd like, until that line is fully depleted. Partial invoicing is also available to you within your invoice lines, all right? The only thing you'll have to pay attention to is what type of a line do you have. Is it an amount-based line, which is usually used for services and labor, or is it a quantity-based line that is usually used for, let's say in our case, hours, things you can buy, count. Since we have $100,000 in labor here, today we would like to invoice only against, let's say 24. We're going to adjust the price. Within the quantity baseline is a little bit different. This here, you're going to see a price per unit. Price per unit, you're never going to edit. You're never going to change. Instead, what you'll need to do in order to invoice against a lesser amount is you're going to have to change the quantity. Instead of 250 hours, you're going to go ahead and invoice against 12 hours today. Shipping and handling is added within the gray box down below your invoice. Please make sure you create a habit of always clicking on the calculate button, which will give you the correct total. Only after confirmation of the total, only then you're going to go ahead and submit your invoice. Now keep in mind that after submission, you're no longer able to edit or delete your invoices. So in order to edit that invoice. If you realize that you made a mistake with the numbers or simply did not attach the mandatory paperwork alongside your coupa invoice, since you're no longer able to edit or delete this invoice, in order to correct it, you're going to have to create a credit note. I will show you how you can create a credit note, but before that, I will show you how you can create a blank invoice. All right. Now, creating blank invoice, the process starts under your invoices tab this time around. You no longer have all that information from your purchase order to be flipped into an invoice, all right? Instead, you'll have to start from scratch. Once again, please select your customer from your drop-down menu first, and then go ahead and click on Create Blank Invoice button. You're always going to be seeing the company payment information. That is your company payment information on the right. On the left, the invoice number is going to be entered manually. Once again, coupa does not generate numbers. Okay, you're going to go ahead and attach any mandatory paperwork alongside your coupa invoice if needed. You're always going to start with one line. Keep in mind that you can add as many lines as you'd like onto your coupa invoices simply by clicking on the green plus add line icon. The first line, we would like it to be an amount-based line. Short description is required and the price. The second line, we would like it to be a quantity-based line. Once again, short description, quantity, let's say 12 hours, as that's the only option we have in the demo, and you're going to enter the individual price per hour. If you're a U.S. supplier, you're going to be checking the line level taxation box in order for the tax rate menus to be added within the invoice lines. You're going to go ahead, select your tax rates. Or if you're a non-US supplier, those tax rate menus will already be included within your invoice lines previously. All right, select your tax rates. If you're not adding taxes, you're simply going to be leaving those boxes, tax rate boxes, empty. Shipping and handling is added within the gray box. Please click on calculate, see how you received the total, confirm it, submit your invoice. Let's say we just submitted this invoice and realized that we did not attach our mandatory paperwork alongside it. Now, as I mentioned before, in this case, what we need to do is create a credit note. Creating a credit note is also found under your Invoices tab, right next to your Create Blank Invoice button. You're going to click on Create Credit Note. First thing the system will ask you is to go ahead and select that invoice number that you'd like to work against, the one that you'd like to correct, and click on Continue. Right after, you'll see two options: completely cancel invoice with credit note or adjust invoice with credit note. We're going to go ahead and select the second option, click on Create. Your credit notes page will be very similar to an invoicing page. Same company and payment information on the right. On the left, you'll enter your credit note number manually. Once again, your credit notes will always appear in red and minus, as you're going to be able to easily distinguish them from your invoices. And this time, you're going to go ahead and use one of these options to go ahead and attach that paperwork that you previously did not attach alongside your invoice. You do have the option to go ahead and edit the number here if you do find that it is incorrect. Once again, click on Calculate, confirm your total, and submit your credit note. In regards to your invoicing process in general, before you start your invoicing process with any of your customers, please get in touch with them and ask them a few important questions. The first question is what type of invoices they'll be accepting. Some customers accept only PO-backed invoices, others accept only blank invoices, third parties accept all types of invoices, all right? So make sure you do get the information on what types of invoices you'll be sending out, as if they say it's going to be a PO-backed invoicing, you have to be waiting for that purchase order to arrive from your customer first in order to be able to flip it into an invoice second. Okay, the second important thing is make sure to check if all your buttons have been enabled. We have a create invoice from contract here grayed out on purpose, which means that button is not enabled, but we do need to use it in our invoicing process. So in this case, what that means is that your customer hadn't enabled those buttons for you. If you see a button that you need to use and is grayed out, this is also something that is enabled on your customer's end. So please reach out to your customer and have them enable those buttons for you. Under the Invoices tab, I would like to show you the statuses that you're going to encounter. Now, first, pending approval status. This status will change into an approved status once your invoice is approved. Of course, the second status would be draft. Now, the drafts are only going to be visible to you if they're only going to be visible to you. They're not going to be visible to your customers at all. So let's say you started working on an invoice earlier today, halfway through you decided to jump on a different project. The system will save your work as a draft that you can come back to later on, finalize, submit your invoice, or if you no longer need those drafts, you can simply delete them by clicking on the red X buttons at the end of your draft lines. And last but not least will be your disputed status. The disputed status is going to be the only status that will have an edit button added to it as the blue resolve button that we see here. Okay. Once you receive a disputed status, first and foremost, click on your blue resolve button and scroll all the way to the bottom of this page. Write to your comment section. Now, the reason for it is right here, you're going to be able to find out why they're disputing your invoice and also how they would like you to correct it. All right. No customer will be able to dispute supplier's invoice without leaving those comments here first. So you'll be clicking either on the void button or correct invoice button depending on the instructions given to you by your customer. Payment information. Now, first, the payments tab is only going to be visible to you if you have at least one Coupa Pay customer, okay? If you're not using your Coupa accounts for payments, the payments tab is not going to be visible to you at all. It will become visible only after you add your first Coupa Pay customer. Now, in order to give me 1 second as it is not loading at the moment. It's usually faster. Now, in order to see your remittance advice, you can click on Payments tab and Payment Number, and you're going to be able to see view all this information here. Payment information you will also be able to find under your Invoices tab. The only thing you'll have to do different is from the drop-down menu here, please select payment information. Also go through all the options that we provide here in the drop-down menu, as we have some interesting options for you that might be suitable for your company. So please research a little bit and see how convenient and how Coupa can help you in so many ways. Once you select a payment information, you're going to be able to find payment information on this page only if your customer had entered it on there in the Coupa. If they haven't, you're not going to be able to find this information here, unfortunately, but some do, so it's worth to try and see if you can find this payment information on this page here. Now, I would also like to talk about connection requests. You can connect with the customer in two ways. You can send them a connection request or they can send you an invitation. So connection request by a supplier can be sent to a customer if you click on your setup button and click on connection request. Right here within the search bar, you're going to go ahead and click on it and type the name of your customer. Make sure that you spell the name correctly. Find it, send the connection request. Keep in mind that it is on a approval basis, so if you see it sitting there pending approval for a few days, don't worry about it. However, if you see it pending there for a couple of weeks or so, they simply haven't seen it. So if you have a point of contact for that particular customer, go ahead, reach out to them and have them approve that connection request. The second way is the invitation that has been sent to you by your customer within that email, the wizard within that email. Of the first half of the webinar, we covered all the cards and all the steps that you're going to be seeing within that wizard, all the information that is required in order for you to be able to connect with that particular customer, as the information required within that wizard is the information required from your customer in order for you to be able to connect with them within Coupa and transact with them also within Coupa. Okay. Next will be catalogs. This is where you can upload catalog files for your customers to access. If your customer would like you to add a catalog for their buyers, that will notify you directly. Well, this is everything you'll need to know to be able to start using your Coupa account. I hope that this webinar was useful for you. For additional information in the future, you can use the Coupa online support pages, plus the webinar recording and all supporting links and materials I'm going to send you via email. I'd like to thank you all very much for your attention.